Welcome to Building Wealth for Two. By the end of this video, you'll know how to align with your partner to avoid tension and build wealth. So we'll be diving into a shared vision, money date, and fun money. I'm not going to get into the details of setting up joint accounts and all that stuff because everybody has their own approach to it, but these are the core things to do to make sure that you're aligned with your partner to build long-term wealth. This is part of the Cash Flow Explorer series, and we're currently in Level 1 Financial Basecamp. Let's jump into it. So let's start with the shared vision. When I was single, I chose how to spend every hour of my day, what I spent my money on, and I could be as frugal as I wanted to be. It worked perfectly for the van life chapter of my life. But when I got married, we got a mortgage, we moved into a house in the city, and I realized quickly that what worked for me alone in a van does not automatically work for us. So when we go from me to we, there's more people involved in the equation. And when you're in a serious relationship or get married, you need to learn how to make shared decisions together and even compromise on some things. Whose family to go to for different holidays, where do you want to travel? I had to learn that while living in the van was great for me as a financial minimalist, I could not expect my wife to have that same level of extreme financial frugality. Instead of assuming that Amy needed to make all the changes to meet me where I was, I had to look at myself first. I knew that I had to become more financially flexible, and that's what this is. It's a two-way street. You are building a life together, and personal finances is a team sport. And when Amy and I went from we to us as a family, things just went to a whole other level. When my friends ask me what changed when I became a dad, the answer is I've learned to become way less selfish. When you have a baby, you are on their schedule, not your own, and my main role for several months was just supporting my wife and the baby. When you and your partner first met, I don't think you set out to have an ordinary or average life. So I want you to go back and think about those big dreams. What is your shared vision together? So before the budget and the investing plan, we need to see what we're actually working towards. As an example, Amy and I have a big vision to buy acreage in North Carolina and build a homestead where we can raise our kids and spend as much time outside as possible. We dream of growing our own food, fruits and veggies, having chickens, honeybees, and being able to host our families there. And this vision is so strong for us that it keeps us grounded to stick to the plan. Here's how to actually set your shared vision step by step. First, I want you to get away from any distractions. I don't want you to sit at the kitchen table. Ideally, get outdoors and do something fun. Go somewhere quiet and block out half a day so you can have a deep conversation and give it real time. We're not going to be talking about numbers. You're going to be dreaming together about the life you want to build. That takes time and space. Some key questions are working through: what does our ideal life look like in 3, 5, and 10 years? And the more vivid you are with this imagery, the better. So what time do you wake up? What do you do? What type of food are you eating? What do you spend your days doing? And the more vivid you are through this imagery, the better. You can start with your morning routine and then work through the rest of your day. But what does that daily life look like in 3, 5, and 10 years if you stick to this plan? I want you to ask, where are we living? That could be geographically, and also what type of home you're in. What does your relationship look like? And what does it feel like? How many kids, if any, do you have? Who is working and how much? And what are you working on? And then what are your income sources and how much reasonably do you want to be making? And then what does a great day look like? When do you go exercise? What do you eat for lunch? What type of daily activities are you getting in to make it a great day? Over time, as you go through this exercise more frequently, your vision doesn't need to be perfect, but when you write something down, you at least know what you're working towards together and you get out of the monotony of daily life. I highly recommend that you revisit this at least annually. So on the weekend of our anniversary, Amy and I will go out, we'll climb a mountain, we'll set up the hammock, and we'll spend a half day talking through our latest shared vision. And the great thing is that once you have your shared vision together, every budget conversation and investing decision has a reason behind it. You're not just managing money anymore, you are building towards something specific together. It helps you not get stuck in the weeds when you're able to align on the long-term vision, and then you can use that as a filter for your decisions. Building real wealth takes time, and knowing you have the same destination helps keep you on the path. You have your shared vision conversation and you're feeling great, totally aligned, but then life takes over. Months go by, spending starts to drift, and then these small gaps become even bigger ones, and that alignment quietly slips away. And before long, we're back to having the same money arguments that we used to have. Getting on the same page once is not enough. We have to stay there. Unfortunately, I think this is really normal for couples to have financial tension. And money is consistently one of the top 3 causes of divorce. Some people cite it as the number 1 cause, but it's typically regarded as the leading source of argument inside marriages. Yet at the same time, other couples have financial alignment. And under the age of 25, married couples have 9x the median net worth of unmarried women and 3 times the net worth of unmarried men. For some couples, finances can be your Achilles heel, or it can be your superpower. Looking at these pictures, it's pretty obvious that we don't want financial tension and we want financial alignment. So to do that, we need to align with our partner to create an extraordinary life. We don't want to be average. And to break out of that ordinary or average life, we need to have the hard conversations. It's very normal for people to say we don't talk about money, but instead, we have a monthly money date. Other couples say that money leads to tension. Instead, that could be we tackle our money together. Instead of saying we just go through the motions, you can say every dollar has a purpose. Instead of saying I make more than them, you can say it's our money. Instead of saying, well, they're a spender, you can say, how can we work with that? If someone says, I feel uneducated about money, you can say, how can we learn? Or if my partner hides purchases, we should ask, how can we help them feel safe? Another one I've heard is, I'm not the money person in the relationship, but instead that could be, we share the responsibility. And most importantly, we say, my partner needs to change behavior. But instead ask, how can I change my behavior? So on the left-hand side with the ordinary life, that is typically described as blame and avoidance. So you're pushing it off onto your partner or just not having the conversation. If you want to have an extraordinary life together and achieve that shared vision, you have to do what's not ordinary. So this framing really matters. And when you have your money date, this is not a performance review. Nobody's in trouble. Nobody's being judged. It's just 2 people checking in on the life that they're building together. So when you're planning out for your money date, it helps to be prepared. You want to pick a day of the month and then protect it. You could do the same day every month on the calendar, just like any other commitment, and make it enjoyable. Have a good meal, be in a relaxed setting. You want to look forward to it and not dread it. I've seen people that do pizza and wine. Amy and I like to go to a coffee shop. Whatever you want your money date to be, make it fun. It should be comfortable, and we're approaching it with a team mindset. For actually running your money date, you want to start by reviewing your shared vision. So remember, what are you looking forward to the next 3, 5, and 10 years? Because that should always be at the top of your mind when you're going into the more tactical things later. Next, take a quick look at your net worth. I'll go deeper into how to calculate your net worth in the next video, but you want to run a quick check at each monthly date to see if you're moving in the right direction. After that, review last month's budget. So compare what you planned to spend versus what actually happened. Fixed expenses are usually straightforward, but variable expenses will be different every month, of course. And you're not going line by line to judge each other. Instead, look for patterns. So where did spending not match your values? If you both really care about your health, but you only spend $20 on your gym membership and you spent $200 on DoorDash, that is just a data point that you can use to make an adjustment moving forward. A budget is not meant to be some type of inflexible thing. It's ideally meant to help you spend according to your values. The goal is not to have a perfect budget. The goal is a shared understanding of where you are and where you're going. So that conversation just once a month keeps you building together instead of drifting apart. After you're finished, I highly recommend you go out and do something fun like going to get ice cream. Okay, let's get into the fun money section. Strict budgets fail. Not because the math is wrong, but they leave no room to be human. We want financial flexibility. You may already be thinking ahead that monthly money dates sound good to review the spending, but when every dollar is accounted for and you feel like you need to justify your purchases to your partner, it creates a lot of friction and tension. We do not want resentment. We do not want people to start hiding small purchases. Everything starts to break down if we can't be open about our finances. But there is a better way. As you know, I used to not spend any money and I felt tension whenever we spent money on things that were non-essential or felt frivolous. And that wasn't fair to Amy. One of the best things we've ever done for our finances and our peace of mind was we actually set money aside just to spend it. Now, instead of Amy feeling really nervous when she wanted to buy something non-essential, now it's built in. So fun money or shopping purchases typically is an afterthought that breaks your budget. But instead of that, we want to build in the flexibility from the start. So when you're creating your zero-based budget, as one of your variable or fixed expenses, what are you spending on fun per person? And the most important thing about your fun money budget is there are no rules on how you spend it. This one change makes your budget more sustainable than pretty much anything we've ever done. So when you want to buy something and you don't want to justify it, it comes out of your fun money fund. It never even enters the budget conversation and we don't need to question it. Here's how to set it up step by step. Have a conversation with your partner about what number feels right for your monthly fun budget amount. After that, you'll actually have a separate bank account or at least a spending bucket within your bank account. The fun money budget number should be meaningful enough to give every person that sense of freedom, but not so large that it destroys your budget. You can always start with a small amount if you're not sure, and then adjust it higher from there. Next, you want to open a separate bank account for each person. This is important. The fund needs to live somewhere separate from your main accounts. Most online banks make this easy and completely free. You'll have a new account with a separate debit card. After that, you will set up an automatic monthly transfer. So at the start of every month, a fixed amount automatically goes from your main account into your fun money account. You set it once and it runs on its own, so you don't need to send that money every month. And then you can spend it however you want. There are no rules. The money belongs to each person individually. There are no wrong purchases. That is the entire point. If you want to spend it on clothes, a gadget, a round of golf, dinner with a friend, it's yours to use. And then you also let the amount roll over if you do not spend it. If you want to save it up for something bigger, like a new piece of gear, you can spend it to zero every month or let it accumulate. It's your call. It was typically easier to have a fun money budget in like a cash envelope system in the past, but nowadays everything is digital. So let me show you what this actually looks like. Let's use this fictional example of Ally Bank again, where you have your savings account, that's your emergency fund, and then you have your main checking account. Outside of that, you have a different bucket or a different account for fun money account number 1 and fun money account number 2. So you can see the pink one has a higher balance, so maybe they've been saving it up for a larger purchase, and then fun money account number 2 has been spending it mostly every month. Either way, it doesn't matter, but that money will stay there for you as a separate bank account. And I mentioned this earlier, but every account should have a separate debit card. So when you spend money on that card, it comes out of your bank account and not anybody else's. The result of the fun money account is that your core budget stays intact and your investing goal stays on track, and both people feel like they have financial freedom. The budget that gives both partners real autonomy and flexibility is the budget that actually lasts. All right, let's get into the takeaways for this video. For your shared vision, we want you to align on the 3, 5, and 10-year vision. For the money date, we want to keep that top of mind, and it's a monthly opportunity to review your budget and your goals. And remember, this is a team conversation, not a time to be judging. And then for your fun money budget, build in budget flexibility from the start, and guilt-free spending makes it so much easier to stick to the plan. Remember that finances can be an Achilles heel or a source of strength for couples, so you want to align with your partner to create an extraordinary life. For a couple of quick action items, schedule that half-day time with your partner so you can align on your shared vision, and then put that monthly money date on the calendar. Lastly, talk about your fun money accounts and set up those transfers. To recap this video, we aligned with our partner to avoid tension and build wealth. Your partner and your family are your greatest assets, so invest into them, set your vision, and build that life that you always dreamed of. And to celebrate, you have completed level 1 of the Cashflow Explorer course, and you can stamp level 1. Coming up is level 2, Get Your Bearings, and the next video is called Money Snapshot. Know exactly where you stand financially. I'll see you there.